It's a year on the 13th that I came in to our first meeting. I think it was the 13th. I officially didn't start till September, but I think we did my rollout meeting the end of August. Just put that together. That wasn't part of my speech, but here we go. Okay, so reminder, we're going to be providing lunch today at noon, so be sure to stick around for that. Check in again if you didn't get your raffle ticket. We have a $100 gift card to Sega Lily, so you want to be able to participate in that. I do want to take advantage of having everyone here today and do a quick intro to welcome all of our new people. We have 17 new hires in the last 60 days. Alin, I want all of you to stand up. Lori Thompson, Cobra, if you're here. Krista, I don't think's here. Nicole Starkey. Lori Thompson, you're here. Shamika, you're here. Ruben, you're here. Stand up. Caitlin. Tiffany is returning. She's usually late. Eddie Lopez, if you're here, is returning. Don Donaldson, welcome. Abel Estrada is returning back. Tanner Migley, and we did Shamika. Jenny Morgan. Brittany Summers is returning. Alicia Perez and Raina King. Did I forget anybody? That's awesome. Welcome. So today we're going to cover both June and July's numbers since I gave you the month off for summer. We also have two of our very own special guest speakers, Austin Ingersoll and Jeremy Franco will be talking about their builder business today. Many of you have reached out to me asking, how the hell does Austin do this? And you're going to get to pick his brain, so take advantage of that. Before we start, we will do a minute to win it. And Mitch. You get to come up and do a minute to win it.
Okay, I'm gonna move your stuff a little bit to the side because I'm gonna have them roll these down. Yeah, they're gonna be going like down this. Okay, so come on over here, guys. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you guys each get 25 marbles, and this will be one person's side, and this is the other person's side. You have to roll it down, and whoever sticks the most on there in a minute wins. It's surprisingly hard, because if you do it too hard, it'll just go over it. So come back by me. Come back just a little bit more. Let me grab my timer. Okay, Mitch, you're back where Shamika is. Okay. You guys ready? On your mark, get set, go.
I didn't hear any rules.
That might be fair enough, I guess. So let's see, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You have 19 on your side. That's the thing. Yours might not all be on this side. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay.
And our winner is Shamika.
Look at it, Shamika. Good job. Thanks, Shamika.
Okay, so numbers for June. June was a good month for us. We did 40 million, came in third behind Salt Lake and the Austin region. We helped 99 families with new homeownership and their refinances. We did 49 units conventional, 50 FHA, and 11 brokered. In June's meeting, I think I shared that we're probably going to see a tick up in our FHA loans, and that's seeming to be the case. I don't know if you can hear me. July's numbers, we seem to be coming in pretty comfortable in third place. Again, I'm not really comfortable in third. I'm not comfortable in third, so I'm asking you to help me help you. 37.6 million. And this, for July, we helped 94 families. 49 were conventional, 45 FHA, And we did a little more in brokered loans, I think 14 in brokered loans. Cody is going to talk about our production. Need the mic.
Hello. Okay, let's start with June. Here's our top 5 for June. Josh Gom, what's number 5? At 1.8 million. Josh is in Arizona. Justin Basso, number 4 at 2.2 million. Number 3 was Taylor Wright, 2.5 million. Number 2, Kathy Castle, almost 2.9 million. And number 1, Austin Ingersoll, 9.2 million. And then we did a most improved from last month to this month. That was Justin Basso. Justin Basso did 361 in June or in May, and 2.2 million in June. And he didn't bother to show up. He's not even here. All right, on to July. Top 5 in July. Alina Shumway, 1.999 million. Number 4 was Taylor Wright at 2.5 million. Number 3, Ron Holt, 2.6 million. See here? And again at number 2, Kathy Castle, 3.3 million. And Austin Ingersoll again at number 1 at 3.7 million. And our most improved loan officer in July was Ron Holt. He went from 125,000 to over 2 million. All right. Oh, that's okay. That's all right. Last minute. All right. This is for our president's trip. We already have 2 qualifiers. Austin Ingersoll and Kathy Castle have already qualified. Yeah. And then this will give you guys an idea of who's still in the hunt. Jeremy Franco's going to make it. Taylor's going to make it. Bren's going to do it. Rudy's going to do it. Shelly's going to do it. Brandon. And then, you guys can all do it still. We got 6 months. Just step it up. That's it.
Yeah, how much do you have to get? What's qualifying? Okay. Yay, my turn. Love it. Is it on? Oh. Hi, everyone. Okay, operations. They know me. I'm Leslie, operations, so processing, closing, funding. Nice to meet y'all. Okay, so June, we've got Delana at 17. She's probably on the call. Lorraine, woo woo, 17. Andy, 13. Nice work. Closers, we've got Justin, 36. Where's Justin? Woo woo. And Jade, 42. She's on vacation. Okay, July. We've got Lorraine again. What? 2 months in a row? 16. Kim Hall, 16. And Delana again at 15. Closers, Kendra, 39. Woo woo. Oh, she's off. Tell her I said woo woo. Jade, funding, 39. Nice job. Let's see, closing dates. So we don't have any holidays in August. So last day for CDs for purchases, 28th. And then last day for refis, 22nd. I didn't see anybody write it down. Okay. Next thing, Christy had sent out a video to at least get the first page of the tax returns. So we have the information. So our closing 4506C is correct. What we're running into is it's not correct because we're guessing. And then when I have to pull them for QC, they get rejected. And it's so hard to go back months later. They're not happy to have to re-sign a form or they're not responsive. So it's a lot easier to get that information during the process. So please try to get that information up front. I'd really appreciate it. So let's see. Oh, last thing. So I was asked to, before you originate a HECM or reverse, there's a job aid and inside track. And if anybody needs help finding it, Lindsay or I, happy to send it to you. But it goes over how to enter it in Compass, the process of all of it, and the training that's required. So please make sure you do that before you're originating it. If you can't find it, let me know.
Okay, we're gonna have Gloria. You need to give her access on the Zoom, so Gloria can do her numbers.
I don't know if they can. We tried talking.
It's not working. Okay. Do I need to read them then? Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me? Top underwriters for June: Susie Coleman at 81, Jim Hurst at 37, and Cindy Wardell at 26. July: Susie at 66, Leslie Hardman 35, and Cindy Wardell at 26. Our underwriters are working on overdrive right now. Susie's out of the office on vacation, so be patient with our underwriting department. And I think we have Cheryl next.
Close. Ready? So the new products that we have that we're working on, we've got the one-time close construction, which you've heard Andrew talk about quite a bit. We're be excited to get that out. I think probably a month or so out still, I believe. We're working on an additional DPA option, which is very similar to our SN Home, but pricing a little bit better on 660 credit scores and up. We're adding an interest-only option on the SNL Direct. This kind of helps when you're doing your DSCR because you can qualify them with that interest-only payment. So watch for that. Encompass is working on that interest-only option for us, okay? We're also looking at adding new non-QM programs, specifically bank statement program. So that'll be coming out in the near future. Give us another option for non-QM program. And we do have a new Section 184. It's HUD Section 184, Indian housing. It's Native American housing. We've been approved with HUD to offer that. This is a broker option, though. It will be through First Tribal Lending. There's a training next week, so if you're interested at all in that program, please let me know and I'll get you on that training. So anybody interested, let me know. Okay, anybody have questions on those programs? Okay, thank you.
Oh, yay, my favorite part. It's marketing. If you don't know me, I am Kevin. So hi, you should know me. It's our job to know each other. Let's build your business. What's that first slide? I think it's going to be these glorious prizes. I feel like Bob Barker, right? And you could win. But better than you winning is get these to your agent. Useless if you don't pop by with them, right? What's cool is that Sammy has already thought of what to pop by with. So these little cards, you can print those out, and then she's going to send you all a link of where to get the gifts that go with them. A bento box, Burt's Bees, waxes, and an apple-themed kit. Apple cider and a cloth. Anyway, fun stuff. It's one more way to get in front of your agents, to leave a little something to stay top of mind, right? That's the whole goal. Can we switch to the next slide? Not my slide. But that I need a way good segue to get into that side. All right, SN marketing. I'm going to hit you really fast with 5 points. Okay, 5 points. By the way, everyone, if you're watching your email every week, I send you a little 1-minute video tip, a mortgage marketing minute. These are taken from those. So every week I'm hitting you with something that you should be doing or trying. Here are 5 of my favorites that I really try to drive home with everybody. And I'm going to show them to you quick. We're going to send video emails. You should all be taking photos at your closings. You should be making listing websites for your agents, and they're free. We don't have to charge agents for them. You should be wearing a shirt. Oh, like this one, brand new, hot off the press. By the way, shirts can be totally custom to whatever you want. And schedule a one-on-one with me. I just brainstorm with you. I make sure that you're aware of all our ideas. We have lots of cool ideas, and all of our tools like Surefire, like MBS Highway. So let's flip through them real quick and take a look at each one of those. This is what video email looks like. Do you know 95% of your competitors don't use this? Why not be in the 5% that do and make a personal connection with your agents, with your leads? Imagine getting a video, personal, a one-to-one. I keep saying personal, I mean one-to-one. You say, hi, Bob, nice to meet you the other day. Let's talk more about getting you into a home. That's powerful when done by video. Jump to the next one. I'm just trying to be quick through these. I'm here to help you get started with them at a later time. Next one is the billboard. You know we have a giant billboard on this building, and billboard space in Salt Lake City is minimum 500 a week. I've run billboards for a long time. I know how they can be used best. This is a great way. Getting your agents up there with you gets your agents excited, and doesn't cost you or your agents anything. So take those photos at your closings, use the permission form and get it back to me. You can use DocuSign. You just take a screen capture of their signed form, get it back to me, and I can get you up on the billboard. And that's unlimited, you guys. What I've seen when I've offered this program before at other companies is that a few go-getter loan officers are going to dominate the board. And it's anyone who is just willing to get taking those photos at closing and getting them to me. There's no money, there's no anything else. The way to get on it and to be on it lots is just to keep taking photos at closings. So next one, listing websites. I'm a huge fan of these. They're so easy to make. I can teach you to make them, but if you don't know how, just send me the MLS number and I'll make them for you. I'll send you back a website and a flyer PDF that you can print out. This is also a great way to go meet new agents and have a warm introduction instead of a cold one, because you find an open house they're having and you go and meet them with these already made. Again, I can teach you to make them or I can make them for you to get you started. Next slide. Custom t-shirts. These are some I've done already. I just think it's a great way to start conversations when you're out in public. You're wearing something to the gym that says what you do. Now people know how to approach you and they'll raise the topic of lending. But importantly, we can do whatever you want. Last week, I made t-shirts that said fishing and financing for one of our loan officers. I don't fish. That wasn't something I came up with. That was them. We can do that. Whatever your interest is, whatever you want the shirt to say, there's no minimum. Let's get shirts that say something that means something to you and gets mortgage conversations going. Next one. So that's a summary. Tried to keep it quick. I hopefully got you thinking and went too fast for you to take it all in. So now you have to do this last one. Schedule a time with me. So that's the very last slide. You just click on my Calendly. It's in my signature right here. That's my Calendly address. And you can just book your own time with me that works for you. I love to hit you and your agents with ideas and tools that we offer. So that's it for marketing.
Oh, I love that slide. Make sure I'm going in order. What's the next slide? Okay, yep, team day lunch at noon. We will be offering Cafe Rio. our second event. All right, so we are going to hold a contest. Well, I know some of us have a lot of comfort in the name that we currently hold, the Midvale region. It really doesn't fit, and so, or represent us appropriately. So I'd like to rename the region. My goal is that we will have a name by the end of September. So we will be sending out an email with all the details, what would be important to take to consider, which are the states that we would like to be growing in. We'd like to have a presence in Idaho, Oregon, Washington, California. Jill's looking at me. The way we're going to work it is you will submit your name to Sammy, and then there will be a group of us that will pick the top 3 names, and the winner, and then we'll send those 3 names out for you to vote on which name we will have going forward, and you will win. The winning name will win a $300 gift certificate to Lego. I'm kidding. You can pick. That would be my dream win, but I will let you pick the gift certificate for $300. So please take a little bit of time to start thinking about what would really be an amazing representation of who we are as a region, and hopefully by the end of September we can come up with something that represents us a little better. All right, events. So these events that I'm laying out for you, again, are to help you with your networking opportunities. I'm going to plug the gala. The Utah Vision Gala is coming up this month, which is August 26th. Most of you know this is for suicide prevention, but it is important for you to know it is one of the biggest networking opportunities in our industry of the year. This event is over 400 to 500 people that come that are in the real estate industry, title company, appraisal companies. So it's a really great way for you to come in and network with other people in our industry while you are supporting an awesome cause. We are also looking for volunteers. So if you have time on August 26th, we are in need of volunteers. Reach out to Sammy. And then Lunch and Learn. So we kind of put this together last minute, Sammy and I. I think it would be a great opportunity for you to connect with new agents that maybe you're not working with, while also educating your existing agents on the SN Home product. So we are going to put, Cheryl's going to teach a class on August 29th, which will teach all of your agents what our SN Home product is all about. So my thoughts are that you could use this with your brokers, going in and dropping some of these flyers off to your brokers. We'll have all this material ready for you by the end of the week. I'm hoping with our marketing department, since it is a short time frame. But again, just another opportunity for you to connect with new agents. And then Security National is the platinum sponsor for UAR this year. They're hosting their convention in St. George. My wish list is to have 10 loan officers to represent us. Again, this is another opportunity for you. It's where I am really putting some focus on branding Security National, putting our name out there so that the agents know who you are when you come and talk to them. So it's a couple of days that you get to connect with other real estate agents. If you can go for the 3-day period, if not, and you just need to do a day, let us know, but there will be a lot of convention time. We are doing the party that I think it's Wednesday evening. So it's another awesome opportunity. Other networking opportunities for you to go to, the realtor tours, most all represented by the Salt Lake Board of Realtors. In Salt Lake, they have every Thursday, 8:30 to 12. You will sit, or you at least carpool other real estate agents to go look at all the home tours in the city. It looks like today, from 5 to 7, they're doing a back-to-school bingo night. And August 22nd, another real estate networking mastermind. Utah County is doing a UCAR barbecue dinner and a Sundance Summer Theater Sound of Music. I think afterwards, it looks like. And they also, on August 19th, are doing a pool party. In Davis and Weber County, every Wednesday, they have their realtor tour. I think if I understand correctly, they meet at the church, and then if you show up in a vehicle, you can carpool a group of agents throughout that home tour. All right, so next up, Austin and Jeremy. So I need you to, I know you, the mic is a little intimidating. It's got to be really close so that they can hear you on the Zoom.
I've never even used a handheld mic before. Yeah, Cody's putting a lot of pressure on this to really knock you off your feet, but that's not really my style. I'm really glad that we did just most improved loan officer, because if we did the other way, I would have gotten the nomination for worst improved loan officer. Yeah. But thankful for the opportunity. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll just try holding it. Is that okay? So then he doesn't have to share my germs. No, we just think builders are a huge part of Security National and what we do, and it's a big part of us. And I personally believe that builders should be a big part of your business too, and not necessarily your own builders. I think you guys should take advantage of all the builders that Security National works with, because I think it's a huge advantage. I work with realtors too. About half my business is still real estate agent business. I love when my agent has a client that wants to build. Preferably they go with one of my builders, but if they're not going to use my builder because they're not building in the right spot or whatever, the next best option for me is they go build with Jeremy's builder or Taylor's with Right Homes or whatever, just because I know it'll probably stay in our family one way or another and I'll still get paid, as opposed to going to Edge Homes, who's offering 3% to use First Colony, right? So it's pretty hard to compete with for us. So again, the more builders we get as Security National as a whole, I think it'll benefit all of us better. It's like a momentum and a team thing. I definitely think we should be working on this together. So Jeremy and I are going to talk about how we get builders and how we retain builders. I don't know if there's one right recipe for how to get a builder, but I'll just kind of tell you the things that I kind of believe in. The first is being a good loan officer. I know you can't go to a builder and tell them you're a good loan officer and they're going to start switching their business to you. But if you're a crappy loan officer, you also can't get their business, right? So it really starts with actually being a good loan officer, knowing your loan products, knowing the guidelines, knowing how to work with clients. So just keeping up on your actual loan origination skills is a big deal. The second one is knowing the actual value of Security National. So I'll tell you guys my history. I actually started at Academy Mortgage about 10 years ago. 5 years into my business, which was all Keller Williams business at that point. I did work with one builder that I grew up with, Patterson Homes in Utah County. But other than that, it was all Keller Williams. And I'm sitting in their family reunion. That's their big national convention they go to every year. And Gary Keller stands up and says, "We're opening up Keller Mortgage. Every single one of you should use it and basically screw all of your lenders that you're working with now." Like, I'm sitting there and every agent that I work with is looking at me like, your business is going to crap. Like, sorry, you're going to go compete against Gary Keller. You're in big trouble, right? So I started saying, okay, I need to go after different accounts. I don't want to go after agents anymore. I got to figure out how to work with builders too. And at the time, Academy Mortgage was actually, it's owned by Dwayne Shaw, and he was using his personal money to offer financing to builders. So knowing I want to work with builders, I brought a builder to Dwayne Shaw and said, "Hey, Dwayne, this builder would like to borrow some money for this development. Can we do the project?" And he said no, simply because he didn't have enough money to do it. And I realized at that point, and this is to me a big difference between Security National and Academy Mortgage. I was maybe like the 15th producer, right, at Academy Mortgage. I realized that those top 3 or 4 guys who work with builders are going to be the only ones that really have access to Dwayne's money for their builder accounts. I personally was never going to be able to bring a builder into Dwayne and get him to lend them the money that I needed him to become the preferred lender. Well, about that time I started talking, and I'll give almost all the credit to Justin Basso, who again decided not to show up today. So there's another thing he would have gotten credit for today. But I started meeting with Justin, and Justin was telling me about the Life Company and what Security National does. So to me, understanding the value that Security National brings to you guys, and it's not just the Life Company, but I want to talk about that in a second. If you look at Christy, Tim, Kevin, Austin, Leslie Davis, Cheryl, the underwriting team, Gloria, everybody, like that is our real value add. That's a big value add. And Cody. Gosh dang it. Cody's the unsung hero. Sorry, Cody. No, we have great leadership. I should definitely throw in Andrew and Joel, but I'm not doing that for brownie points. That's why I put you at the end, But we actually have great leadership. We're a great company. We can do all the things on the lending side, on the mortgage side that we need to do, right? We're great at closing loans. We're great at closing them on time. We know our loan products. We know our guidelines. We can be a little bit more aggressive on our guidelines and our underwriting because of the Life Company. It actually acts as an insurance blanket to some extent where we'll close loans. And Andrew and Joel don't want me to say this, but we still push, guys. We push. The right balance. We got to find that right balance. But to me, that's a big selling point still, regardless. Whether or not we actually fund a loan that we shouldn't isn't the point I'm trying to make. That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is it's still a selling point. Christy asked me for notes, and I'm like, no, I'm not giving you those notes. But the Life Company. So we have all that value add, but knowing what the Life Company's value is truly to builders and why builders want to borrow from them is a big deal. Otherwise, you can't have that. You can't walk the walk with those builders or talk the talk with them unless you understand truly what the value is that the life insurance company brings. And if I'm being honest, I didn't understand it at first either. But if you ask Joel or Andrew or anyone else at the Life Company, they want the opportunity. Shane was on the meeting last week with Andrew. They want the opportunity to talk to your builders. So if you don't feel comfortable talking to them, have Shane. Get in a meeting with Shane. Have those conversations, and Shane will show them the value that Security National brings. So that's been the biggest key to me, is knowing the value, so that way when I actually get the opportunity to meet with a builder, I can tell them, this is why builders use us. And you have a huge resume of builders that Security National works with. The biggest builders in the state, we're the preferred lender for, which is something to be proud of, and use that in your repertoire when you're actually meeting with other builders. Finding the opportunities to talk with builders, there's a million ways to find opportunities. I've gone through real estate agents. We're trying to work with Visionary now. I actually got the appointment with Visionary through the title company that they use. So finding those ways, that's up to you. You got to use your brain power. You got to be creative. You got to use your network to figure out those opportunities. And when they come, just be ready. So as far as keeping the builders, I suck at that. I'll let Jeremy take over from there.
Hey, thanks, Austin. So just to echo something that Austin was just saying, the value that Security National brings is so great. I had the similar experience. I was at Academy Mortgage too, and we needed some financing for homes, and I got the exact same answer that Austin got. And when we were able to get Security National together, the options and the things that they were able to present were far superior. And what's amazing about it is, Andrew is super busy, Joel is super busy, Jason Overbaugh is super busy, but they'll take time out of their schedules to meet with the builders. And that's huge, because that's not anything that Academy would do. So just a couple of the tips, things that I've learned over the years with builders is, as you guys get these accounts, typically these accounts are formed with the owners, right? And so we have this relationship with the owners, and we think, okay, well, there's going to be an incentive. They have to use us, and we've got this great relationship with the owners. But it's just as key to have a great relationship with those agents, because you can try to drag them and push them, and it just won't work. You won't get the capture that you're looking for. And so that's huge to have the relationship, to realize that it's on both ends. It's not only with the owners, but also with the agents. Like Austin was saying, we have to be the experts. We have to be the go-to. I get a call almost every time before one of the Fed meetings from Spencer Homes. Jared, what's happening tomorrow? Tell me what's going, what are they saying is going to happen? So we have to know these things, right? And so we want to be putting ourselves in a position where we're advisors to them. So, hey, I heard about this grant. Talk to me about the grant, like all these kind of things. And so anytime that I hear or see new products, new changes, whatever, I make it a point to just stop by, like, hey, Spence, just guess what? There's this. Same thing with their sales manager and with their agents. We try to attend at least their 2 of their sales meetings a month, and we take that opportunity not only to build relationships, but also to give them market updates, to train them on different products, and so that they're kind of armed and understand what's going on with the lending side of it. Probably to me the biggest thing is the sales tracking and the capture rate, right? We make such a huge deal about the capture rate. And so it's ingrained in the agents, it's ingrained in the owners, in the sales manager, that, hey, we have to hit a certain amount of capture. Like, these guys are expecting us to perform. Security National does a lot for these builders, and we give them a lot, so we have the right to expect a lot from them. And sometimes we have to have uncomfortable conversations and say, hey, you know what? Whatever we're doing is not working. And so when you have that relationship, you go in and say, hey, look, your incentive needs to be bumped up, or we need to think of something else because our capture has dropped since you made these changes, or it's just not working. And so having that relationship has helped. And as you get that mutual respect, it's a relationship, right? We give, but they also need to give. And you can't be scared to have those conversations. And then lastly, we try to find processes and things that we can alleviate, the agents from having to do certain things. So, instead of having to get contracts from agents, we set it up so, like, at homes, there's a person that we get all the contracts from. We get the addendums from. We get builder docs from. And we try to keep it simple for the agents so they're not doing that. And so part of the complications sometimes when we have a loan officer or an office from another Security National that's doing the loan, I'll always tell them, like, hey, come to me if you need any of that stuff. And there's a reason for that, because they just expect it to go to that one person. If I get a loan officer going to an agent going, hey, I need builder docs, I need an addendum, I need a contract, they're going to look at you and go, what? We don't ever do this. Like, why? So that's kind of helpful as well. So I don't know, that's about.
Well, I'd love for you to talk on the dynamic with when a loan officer has a client that is now under contract with one of your builders. And I want you to be really forthcoming with how that can go south. It's not handled well, but also the benefit of what you guys offer to allow them to continue to originate that loan. And with the risk there.
Yeah.
The risk.
Yeah. You want to take that?
Sure. Well, without speaking ill of those who have left Security National, I very much had a different opinion of Corey, who basically wanted these protected accounts to be very much done by the loan officer themselves. Like, nope, Mindy's the protected account for flagship. You will send, you can ask Andrew and Joel. They had basically saying, nope, you're going to make every single loan officer in the company send the deal to Mindy to do this deal because the builder requests it. To me, that is not really words coming out of the builder's mouth. But to echo what Jeremy just said, if we make it a headache for the builders, then not only will they find another lender to be the protected lender, but then instead of us working together to close the deal together, you're probably going to lose that deal to the preferred lender that they move on to. So to me, it's very much been, hey, you know what? I want you to do the deal. Just let's work together. Use my team as your resource so that you can close the loan in your name, keep the client relationship. A lot of the times it's referred by an outside buyer's agent, right? And you want to keep that relationship too and make that agent happy and give them the updates. The only problem is the builder doesn't want to deal with another lender. Like part of the reason why we do retain builders is because we have processes in place to make the builder's life better. And we actually want that to be your benefit too. So if you ever get a deal, try to get them into one of the Security National builders. Chances of you keeping the deal go way up because now you get access to the lender incentive, which is usually enough money to keep the clients happy. We want the client. Also, I don't want to have to compete. Like if we have a Security National loan officer coming in with a client, that's so much better for me than when a First Colony or someone who's brokering to UWM comes in with a client, because now we're just going to race to drop down our price and try to convince the client we're the better option, but really the client's just looking at the rate and the fees that they're getting. Whereas when we do it together, we can provide better service. We can still make you money. We can still make Security National money, and everybody wins that way. So for me, it really is a win for the LO who gets to close the deal. It can be a win for the LO who has the builder account, who's created that account, and it can still be a win for Security National and a win for the client. So win, 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 win for everybody if we can just work together. And I think we're starting to see a little bit of a paradigm shift in the mindset and the communication. I do feel like it's been, in years past, it's been very, nope, I'm going to work with the client. Nope, I'm going to do this. Nope. And then it would end up going to Joel, or before it was Paul, and it would be this big pissing match of what to do. And now I feel like it's very much like, no, hey, we'd love it if you take the account, you take the deal. Let's just work with our team to make sure it gets through the finish line and make everybody happy. So does that answer the question? Also, I want to point out, I do push the underwriting, but I only have 2 loans ever in my career Security National bought back. And one of them was just because we miscalculated mortgage insurance. Okay? All right? 2? Yeah, 2.
Do you guys have any questions?
Oh boy.
Like Vanna right
I don't like this. He was really aggressive asking for that mic.
I know.
This is
I know.
All right, this
I
one's
want
for
the fancy
Jeremy.
one. No, what? I'm just going to add to a couple of things that they said. So the capture rate for us, what you guys need to understand is when we find a builder, the life company is lending them money to do A&D, to build the home, to do vertical, but the mortgage company has to capture those loans. So more today than we've ever done in the past, in those agreements and talking with those builders, we're ensuring that those loans come back to you as the loan officer. So we're making it in writing that these builders that we're partnering with have to use us, have a bigger incentive to use us. So when you're talking to those builders, and to Jeremy's point of talking about the relationships, Austin and Jeremy have amazing relationships with these builders. But it's not just the owners, it's also the sales agents. So you all have an agent that you guys do business with. So ask them if they work with a builder. You can then take that to another level, ask the title companies. That's how you start those conversations with those builders, if that's how you want to start them. But just know that we are going to ensure that those loans come back to you, come back to Security National, to protect you as the preferred loan officer, Security National as the preferred lender. We're doing that today. We're going to continue to do it so that those loans come back to us. So it takes a relationship, but we're also making sure in writing that the builder commits to you. Because we've had builders that have said, yeah, go right ahead. I mean, I remember when about 6 or 7 years ago, we did some lots in Heber. I think it was 15 lots, and we helped him and did all his vertical. We didn't get one loan. But the whole time before that, he said, yeah, I'll send you the loans. I'll send you the loans. Yeah, you're going to be my preferred lender. Not one loan did we close. So today, as you bring those, just know we are making it so that those loans come back to you. So I just wanted to add that. But thanks,
Thank
Jeremy
you.
and Austin.
I also want to just emphasize, because I think it's important that, our loan officers that have established these relationships with builders, Austin and Jeremy, have put in a lot of work to get their trust and to demonstrate that we have the ability to close our loans. And so I know we have amazing loan officers here, but there have been situations where the loan has not gone well. And the people that have to answer to those are these two. And they have to be able to explain to the builder why we weren't able to perform at the level that they've experienced. And so we can essentially compromise the relationship if we're not doing a good job. So keep that in mind when you do keep the loan, that we have a relationship and a reputation to protect. And it's important to them that we continue that. Okay, so before we wrap up, do you guys have any other questions? Eddie, go ahead.
To answer the relationship part of it, and Austin, you can speak to this as well. But I think I typically try to start with either the sales manager and like one of the owners. I think those are hard people to get into. But if you can find somebody to give you the introduction, that's typically how you can get into those. It's really helpful if you have an intro. As far as competing with the incentives or getting builders to give the incentives, that's a tough one, because like our builders, like they won't give them up at all. Like that's like the unpardonable sin if they give up that incentive. And so competing against that can be difficult. I don't know if you have any suggestions on that.
The only thing I'd say is that's your buyer agent training, right? Because that's going to be your buyer agent who's usually negotiating with the seller. So I would, even though we play both sides of that fence, we're always training the builder's agents to say, no, if you're coming in and asking for the incentive, it's really going to be tied to Security National. Or if you're asking for additional closing costs paid by the seller, we try to train the builder's agents to say, well, you're only going to get those additional closing costs if they use Security National. Like, we're giving that up. But on the other end, depending on your buyer's agents, if you train them well on how, hey, well, these guys could go look and build with Edge, or they could build with Fieldstone, or they could build with Arrive or Homes. Which one do you want? We'll just take them to another builder. If you can train your outside buyer's agents to almost threaten that, I think you'd be able to get the closing costs paid for by the it really depends on the builder. Usually it's pretty hard. What I've seen a lot of builders do is say, hey, we'll still pay $10,000 of the closing costs, but you don't get the lender incentive, right? But still, so there's still an advantage if they go with the preferred lender, but they're still getting closing costs paid either way. So,
really quick, just to add to your question, you were not here, I don't think, for the sales meeting, but a couple of meetings ago, we had the department to come in and talk about how to create those relationships with builders, and we have a whole marketing piece on it that you can use as kind of an opener that talks about what the Life Company offers and how we finance and how we partner with builders. So reach out to Kevin or Tim, and you can use that material to help get you in as well.
yeah. Yeah, I think we have one, actually. Christy has access to that. Yeah, that's going to be a little. So they're asking if there's a list for protected builders and if it shows the associated incentive. There is like a default incentive for most builders, but I don't know about homes. But every single one of my builders' incentives changes depending on the project. Because if they're building in a 55 older community, they're going to have one incentive. If they're building in a project that's not selling, they're going to try to pay for a 2-1 buy down to get it to sell. If they're but then there's usually like a traditional incentive, and we can try to spell that out. But I think for the bigger builders, anyways, I think they're going to have multiple incentives depending on the project that they're building in. So, but there is probably a standard.
I'd say typically a minimum of like $5,000 is usually what it is, and it can be like, I know Homes has like, they'll do $5,000, they'll do $10,000, they'll do buy downs, they'll do $20,000 towards a basement. Just depends on their product, like, you know, and purchase price.
Well, and specifically the builders we work with, we try and focus on a capture rate, and so I'm less focused now. If the builder wants to provide the incentive, that's certainly a way to drive the business to Security National, right? But I'm typically less focused on that than I am the overall capture rate, because if we can get our capture rate up into the 70s, 80s, and the builder doesn't have to provide those incentives, then that's a win for everyone. So it's hard to have a blanket incentive, because I typically like to see builders say, hey, if I can get that loan to Security National and not offer an incentive just because of my agent training or whatever else is going on, then great, don't offer the incentive. Keep that money in your pocket. As long as we're getting the loans, that's the best outcome. So some of our builders are completely incentivized by how to put this. If they don't reach a certain capture rate, then they have to pay increased fees to Security National. And so it really puts the onus on them, to what Jeremy and Austin are saying, is they gotta dial in that incentive wherever they want or wherever they think they need it to be to drive that business so we get the capture rate. And for some borrowers, they don't think they need an incentive. For other borrowers, maybe they need an incentive. So there's not going to be a kind of, here's the incentive that each builder gives, because it's pretty flexible. What is the capture rate? Oh, they're across the board, but what we're shooting for is something in the 70s. Like we want to be, some builders we have right now are high 60s, which I mean is an okay capture rate, but ideally to feel like good about things, I want it in the 70s, and we're talking about finance sales, right? Because they're going to be counting all their sales. Something in the 80s is something you should feel really good about. Like that's a good capture rate in the 80s, and 70s is kind of like, you know, that's where we want them.
That capture rate doesn't include cash buyers, just for the record, or 1031 funds. So it's achievable.
Any other questions? Awesome. Andrew, you want to say anything else? Yeah.
Oh. Let's grab Andrew the better mic.
See if this works. Okay. This is really just for people online, because no one has ever said that I'm quiet or they can't hear me. All right.
Until somebody starts talking.
There we go. Can we do this? Let's see. There we go. Can people hear me? All right. I'm gonna wear this. Right? First, I just want to say I was at some of those meetings a year ago, and if everyone could just give a big round of applause to Christy and Cody and Sammy and everyone that puts these sales meetings on. I mean, a year can be a long time, but it's really not that long of a time. And to see the increased enthusiasm, the increased professionalism, the increased content that is in these meetings over just a year's time, it gets me really excited for what these are going to be like next August and the following August after that. So again, another big round of applause. I think this is a fantastic meeting. A few things I wanted to wrap up with. One, I'm really happy to see that 17 number, or 17 new hires that we have.
And that's something that I want to continuously highlight, is that we continue to grow in this environment. We have, this is company-wide, especially in this environment, we have more loan officers today than we did a year ago at this time. And a year ago this time, we had more loan officers than we did in 2021. So we've had 2 years of year over year growth of loan officers in this environment. Think about the environment that we've been in, and think that we've been able to attract talent and attract people, like many of those new loan officers that were up on the board today. We've been able to attract people in this environment, and that's because of the company that you all have built. And I think that's a fantastic testament to the strength of Security National, that we're a place where people are coming to. We're a place that people are gravitating towards in this difficult mortgage environment. And I think that speaks volumes to the people that are here, and I think it speaks volumes to our company. So everyone, give yourselves a round of applause. We should be recruiting to that, and we should be sharing that. So, a couple more things that I wanted to mention. This is insider information, so no one can trade on this information since we're a publicly traded company. But we're releasing our second quarter earnings on Monday. And this is for Security National Financial overall. This is for the whole company. But we're going to release a second quarter earnings that almost doubled what we did last year in the second quarter. That's a pretty significant achievement in this environment. We are going to have a 6-month earnings that are about $1 million better than they were last year. And if you think about, again, the mortgage environment that we have, the decline in production, just overall production that there has been in this market, I think that is a huge selling point of Security National. That you should be going out to our agent partners, our builder partners, and say, look, our company is producing better quarters than we were a year ago. Our company is producing better first halves than we were a year ago. Our company is stronger and more stable than it was a year ago in this interest rate environment. To me, that is a huge selling point of Security National, and something we should not forget to bring up in any of the conversations we've had. Now, we should give a round of applause to our brother and sister companies, because they're the ones that are producing that profit right now. But that's the best part about being a part of a family of companies, right? Is at various times in various economic cycles, one company or another company is able to support and provide lift to all of us here. And there is strength in that. That's why we're able to continue to persist in this market, is because we have multi-business lines. And again, to have a second quarter in 2023 that is almost double what we did in 2022 is fantastic. Go out and look for any other mortgage company, standalone or with multi-business segments, that's done that, and you're not going to find anyone that's done that out there. So that's fantastic. Driving it down a little bit to the mortgage company, we're doing good things on the mortgage side too. I don't have July's financials yet, but in June's financials, I still hate that I start this L word here, but we still lost $200,000 in June. But June was the first month that we had a year-over-year improvement, meaning June was better than June 2022. So we lost about $500,000 in June 2022, lost $200,000 this month. In subsequent months, it went much lower than that. But June was the first month in over 18 months that we've had a better month this year than we did the previous year. Does that make sense? It was our first year-over-year improvement in the last 18 months, which to me is a real significant achievement. I think we have kind of troughed out, and we are increasing. We still cannot have that L word. We still cannot be losing money. And so I tell all of our regional managers and our operations people, I mean, we just can't be losing money. So we still have some work to do. But the fact that we've had our best, or our first month where we've increased year over year in the last year and a half is fantastic news and something that I definitely want to share with everyone. So with that, celebrate the strength of Security National. Celebrate being part of a family of companies that Austin and Jeremy covered, builder relationships. I mean, that's just another avenue where our family of companies gives us strength and gives us an advantage that we don't have. Celebrate that, hey, we're doing better this quarter than we were a year ago. And these are all things we should be sharing with our peers in the industry, right? Because we want to continue attracting that talent. We want to continue to attract that strength. And, it's like a gravity, right? It just builds on itself as we continue to do this. So thank you very much for all the hard work. I know it's a tough market out there, but it's one that we as Security National, we're built for this. We are built for this type of market. We are built for this type of environment. So thank you very much. And what a great meeting. Thank you again.
I'm sorry I didn't give a proper introduction, especially for our new people. Andrew Quist is our president of the mortgage division. Okay, we're going to draw for a raffle. And I just want to remind you, with our new region name, if you don't want me to name it Christy North's region, I want your suggestions. Or Christy and Cody's region. So make sure you're thinking of ways or ideas that we can come up with and put out to everyone to vote on our new region name. And our winner for the Siegel Lily Spa Day is, oh God.
0701697.
Nice. All right, thank you, everyone. Again, we hope to see you at lunch, 12 o'clock, Cafe Rio. Thank you for taking an hour with us today. Have a great Thursday.